Reba McEntire, a country music icon, recently commemorated her 40th anniversary of being a member of the Grand Ole Opry. The legendary Nashville location gave the Voice coach an even more unique treat as a way to celebrate. On January 16, 2026, the Grand Ole Opry celebrated McEntire's anniversary with a funny bouquet of 40 corn dogs in addition to a special show and a celebration backstage with a gigantic cake. Learn why. Terry Clark, McEntire's friend and another country music artist, delivered the unexpected selection of corn dogs to McEntire backstage in a video that the Opry shared on January 21. McEntire chuckled as she placed the corn dogs next to a huge cake. Why the strange present? McEntire's passion for corn dogs is widely known. As she once stated to Country Living magazine, "It's no secret that I adore corn dogs. Everyone knows that we need corn dogs after I finish my show at a fair." Additionally, there is photographic proof. After performing at the Mississippi Valley Fair in Davenport, Iowa, in 2015, McEntire shared a selfie in her private aircraft with a corn dog in one hand and a cup of ketchup in the other, according to NBC. In 2018, McEntire shared another set of images, this time from an airplane, with the caption, "What's better than a corn dog during the Strawberry Festival in Florida? Everyone has one." In May 2025, McEntire, who is engaged to her co-star Rex Linn from Happy's Place, told Variety, "I do love a corn dog and I like to mix it with mustard and ketchup. Because it's so excellent, you should blend it rather than just one." She chuckled and said, "I was playing the Strawberry Festival when I showed Rex a plate when we first started dating. The next image showed 2 sticks since I had already eaten the 2 corn dogs I was sitting on the plane with. I adore corn dogs, I'm a cheap date." Despite how entertaining the Grand Ole Opry's anniversary joke was, McEntire's 40th year as a member is not amusing. This year marks the 40th anniversary of Opry membership for a woman who defines what it means to be a Grand Ole Opry member. Her close friend Trisha Yearwood said to the crowd during the January 16 celebration. For many of us who have followed in her footsteps and had the good fortune to walk beside her, Reba has shaped country music. Over the course of her illustrious career, Reba McEntire has won several accolades, including gold records, platinum plaques, lifetime achievement awards, and standing ovations that seem to go on forever. Even so, nothing could have prepared her for the surprise that awaited her backstage at the Grand Ole Opry on the night she celebrated one of the most significant life events. It was not glossy, it wasn't costly, it wasn't traditional, either. It was so incredibly Reba funny and intimate that she started laughing as soon as she saw it. The history of the Grand Ole Opry is extensive. It recalls tense debuts and victorious comebacks, initial steps and last bows. And few performers are more deeply entwined with its past than Reba McEntire. Reba's journey has taken place in front of that iconic platform, from her early appearances as a young singer attempting to establish herself to her current position as one of country music's most cherished icons. When it came time to commemorate her enormous achievement, decades as an Opry member and an almost unthinkable amount of performances, the Opry crew realized this couldn't be done in a typical way. They were looking for a gift with a narrative. Long before Reba was well known, that story started. Long before the powerful voices, rhinestones, and red hair that would characterize successive generations of country music. It started with an Oklahoman girl who was equally passionate about hard work, music, and laughing. The people who know Reba the best will tell you that her comedy fills rooms, even though her voice may fill arenas. She is well known for making fun of herself, making jokes out of her missteps, and maintaining a lighthearted attitude under pressure. The Opry crew got an idea from that notoriety. The Opry was a hive of activity on the night of the festivities. The seats were crowded with fans, many of them carrying handmade banners or sporting vintage Reba shirts. Backstage, other musicians spoke with excitement, ready to pay tribute to someone who had initially motivated so many of them to take up a microphone. Unaware that the biggest surprise had nothing to do with speeches or songs, Reba herself remained composed, smiling, and courteous as always. The lights went down a little after her performance, which received a thunderous standing ovation, and the hall reverberated with the Opry announcer's well-known voice. He talked about Reba's debut, her career over the years, and the innumerable memories she had contributed to making on that stage. Reba nodded as she listened, obviously moved but yet anticipating the customary sincere homage. The curtain then moved. A big covered object that quickly piqued interest rolled out. Reba turned her head, squinted, and chuckled uneasily. Already sensing trouble, she said, "Oh Lord," into the microphone. "You guys are planning something." The crowd exploded when the cover was removed. And there it was. A huge, magnificently absurd, custom-made present, built just to commemorate Reba's milestone and her distinctive personality. It wasn't a plaque. It wasn't a prize. It was a lighthearted, ridiculous homage to her long-running joke about touring, country music life, and all the things she had laughed and suffered through over the years. The gift blended history and fun. Each element alluded to a memory, an instance, or a recurring joke that Reba's admirers had heard her tell for decades. It was evident from her early travelogues to her renownedly pragmatic approach to celebrity that this was not just humorous but also profoundly intelligent. After a second of staring at it, Reba flung back her head and laughed so hard she had to balance herself by grabbing the microphone stand. In between giggles, she exclaimed, "Oh my goodness! This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen." Her happiness was shared by the audience, who laughed along with her. Her tears, not sad ones, but the kind that come from laughing so hard that your face hurts, were captured on camera as she wiped them from her eyes. She walked around the gift, pointing to various areas, telling the audience inside jokes, and shaking her head in amazement at how well the Opry staff knew her. She tapped an area and remarked, "This is exactly how I feel most days." The gift was hilarious, not only because of how it looked but also because it was true. It encapsulated Reba's ability to laugh at herself and see the ridiculousness of a career spanning decades, fashions, hairstyles, and musical periods. It honored her tenacity without being overly serious, something Reba has long said is necessary to thrive in the entertainment industry. The hilarity went on backstage. She received hugs from other artists who teased her about whether the present would fit in her home and where she would place it. Reba retaliated with her usual wit, implying that she might tour with it or leave it at the Opry permanently as a message to other performers. She jokingly said, "This is what happens when you stay in this business long enough." But there was more to it than just humor. Reba later acknowledged that the present meant more to her than many official accolades after giving it some thought. She remarked, "Anyone can give you something pretty. However, you can tell someone knows you when they take the time to make you laugh, really laugh." The core of Reba's connection with the Grand Ole Opry has always been that feeling of recognition. For her, it's more than simply a location, it's a second home. She gained knowledge, made mistakes, developed, and ultimately thrived there. It was there that she first saw legends play, and then greeted newbies with the same kindness. Reba was forced to reflect in ways she rarely does because it was such a significant milestone. She has always been more concerned with the future than with the past, but she felt the weight of it, in the greatest manner possible, as she stood there, smiling at a present that embodied decades of comedy and hard work. She said candidly, "I never thought I'd still be doing this, much less continue to adore it." That affection was expressed by the Opry gift. Not the staged, glitzy kind, but the authentic one. The lengthy car rides, the sleepless nights, the outfit changes, the times when everything goes wrong but you still manage to laugh. It recognized Reba as a person as well as Reba the celebrity. Following the performance, fans swiftly posted videos and pictures of her reaction on social media. The gift seemed just right, according to many comments. Others commended the Opry for realizing that genuineness, rather than vocal prowess or chart success, is what truly makes Reba's legacy. One fan commented, "She's one of us. We'd adore her because of this." That sentiment resonated with the feelings of many artists. Reba is frequently credited by younger performers as both an inspiration and an influence. She is well known for giving guidance, sharing jokes, and letting newbies know that it's acceptable to not know everything. One artist remarked, "She demonstrates that you can achieve success while remaining true to yourself. You stay sane because of that humor." Reba gave the gift one last glance before leaving for home as the evening came to an end. The chuckle had subsided into a cozy glow of satisfaction. She was aware that significant events like this don't occur frequently. She was also aware that not everyone has the opportunity to celebrate them in a family-like setting. She whispered, "This Opry has been so kind to me." The amusing present now serves as a reminder that happiness is important even after decades of success, and as a symbol of that partnership, it's still important to laugh. And that sometimes a well-timed joke is the most profound way to express thank you. That evening, Reba McEntire accomplished more than just a significant milestone. She demonstrated once more that longevity need not equate to seriousness, that legacy can be happy, and that despite the years, she remains true to herself. A person who laughs loudly, works hard, and sings from the heart.